Hi, kindergarten. Welcome to Science with Miss Bright. I miss you all so much, but I am so excited to be here to bring you science via your computers or your tablets or whatever device you may have. I'm so excited about continuing to grow your brain in science. I hope that you all are well, and I can't wait to get started on today's investigation. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started with our investigation. So, someone dropped this off at my house. It's a little packet and it says Mystery Science Investigation, Top Secret. So, I'm going to open the packet. I'm gonna see what's inside. Ooh, it's a note. Good morning, scientist. Today, we're going to have a plant investigation. Yay! Love the investigator. So it doesn't say love Miss Bright like how it normally does, even though I love you all so much. It says the investigator. So we have a mysterious investigator that will be helping us with our science investigations. I'm so excited. So I'm going to introduce to you some new vocabulary words. I have 2 envelopes, and in these envelopes, they have clues to tell us what the words on the inside are. And these words are really important as we're going through our investigation today. All right, we're gonna go ahead and check out our vocabulary words. So this first one has little clues on them to tell us what the word on the inside might mean. So the first one says, similar to a guess. That must mean it's something like a guess. It says a statement about a future event, and it also says will be tested. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up this envelope. It's actually sealed pretty tightly. The investigator wanted to make sure we got everything we needed. So this word is prediction. So the word prediction is similar to a guess. It's something that we're going to test in our investigation on today, and it's a statement about a future event. Our second envelope also has clues, and they say answers questions, explores observations, and is a process for experimentation. So we're gonna go ahead and open this one. Once again, the investigator sealed it pretty tight. Check it out. And this word is the scientific method, which is what we're going to use today to guide our investigation. So now that we know that we have a plant investigation and we know that we have 2 new vocabulary words, prediction and scientific method, the first thing that we have to do is come up with a question. In order for us to investigate, we have to come up with a question. It's so important. So I have my dry erase board here that says question. We have to figure out what's going to happen in the plant investigation. Before we ask the question, let me tell you a little bit more about the plant investigation. So what we're going to be doing is planting 3 plants today. They're marigolds. What's going to happen is one of them is going to be watered with regular water, one will be watered with milk, and the other, drumroll, will be watered with vinegar. So our job is to figure out which one is going to help the plant grow the tallest. So now that we know what the investigation's about, we can go ahead and write down our question. So, which plant will grow the tallest? So here's our question. Which plant will grow the tallest? Now that we have our question written down, we are going to make a prediction. And just in case you forgot, it was one of our new vocabulary words that I introduced from the beginning. So remember, it's similar to a guess, it's a statement about the future, and it will be tested. So I'm going to guess which plant I think is going to grow the tallest. I want you all to think about this as well. So I'm gonna take what I already know. I'm gonna activate my prior knowledge about what I already know. So I know that I drink milk because milk is good for my bones. We all drink milk. I know that I drink lots of water because water is also good for our bodies to help us grow. And sometimes we use vinegar in some of the foods that we eat. So all of them are important, but which one is going to get us the tallest plant after we're done with this investigation? All right, so I have our board here that's going to help us with our guess. I'm going to make a guess based on what I know. Remember, when you make a prediction for an investigation, it's okay at the end of the investigation to be wrong. It's actually how many scientists and investigators learn the most. So I'm gonna write down what I think is going to happen, but you can have a different prediction and that's okay. So for me, I think the plant with the water will grow the tallest. This is my prediction or my guess. Remember, your prediction might be different, and at the end of the investigation, we will see who's correct. And again, it's okay to be wrong. It's how we learn. So the reason why I picked water is because most of Earth's surface is covered in water. The majority of our bodies are made up of water. And I know that rain comes from the sky and waters all of our grasses, our trees, and other plants as well. So I'm gonna go with what I know, and I put that into my prediction or my guess. All right, so now that we have our prediction out of the way, we are going to move into materials. So we have to list out the materials that we're going to need for the investigation. I'm going to go ahead and list them out first and write them down, and then I'm going to show you each of the different materials. So our first one that we're going to need is soil. We have to plant the seeds in soil. It's our first one. The second one that we're going to need is a shovel. I have a handheld shovel to help us plant the seeds. Next, we're going to need our marigold seeds. We're going to need water. We're going to need milk. We're going to need vinegar. We're going to need a water bottle for the water. We're gonna need gardening gloves so we don't get our hands dirty and spread any germs. We're going to use or need a measuring cup so we have the same amount of liquid, and that means whether it's milk, vinegar, or water, the same amount goes into each plant each day. So measuring cup. And the last one we're going to need is a permanent marker. And that's just to mark each pot to let us know which plant is which, whether it's water, vinegar, or milk. So here's a list of the materials that we'll need for our investigation. All right, now that we have our materials listed, I'm going to show you each one. So the first one is we have soil for us to plant. Then we have a shovel. We have our seeds. I have some water in a water bottle, which are 2 of our materials on our list. I have milk. I have white vinegar. I have some cute little gardening gloves to keep my hands clean and free from any germs, which is so important right now. I have measuring cups so we can have the same amount of water or same amount of vinegar and milk. And I have my permanent marker. So those are the materials that we're going to use today for our experiment. The next step in our investigation is listing out the steps. So I'm going to write them down one by one so that I know what I'm going to do. It's like a plan of action. So our first step is we're going to label the pots. And I'll show you what that looks like in a second. Label pots. We're gonna keep it simple for the investigation. After we get done labeling, we are going to place soil in each pot. So place soil in each pot. The next step is to plant the marigold seeds. I'm gonna say plant seeds. After we plant those seeds, then we're going to start watering. But remember, every plant won't get the same liquid. Each of them will get something different. So one is going to get water, one is going to get vinegar, and one is going to get milk. So I'm just going to say water the plants, even though they all won't have water, just to keep it simple. So we'll say water. I'll put that in quotations because that could be water, vinegar, or milk. Plants. And the last step is to place in sunlight. So we know that plants need sunlight in order for them to grow. So this is the list of steps that we have to take to conduct our investigation today.